Something that I found most compelling in Foster's introduction wasn't something that he did. It was more of what his friend did, his spiritual advisor. I can't recall the name on top of my head, but he was the spiritual giant that Foster looked up to, and he asked him to come pray, not knowing what for or why or any hints of the matter. And instead of just going there and praying, his friend came there and just poured himself out and said, "This is who I really am. I'm not sure if you know, but these are the things I struggle with. I'm not all that you might think I am." And then proceeded to ask, "Do you still want me to pray for you?" I found this compelling because as a small group leader, I find it difficult at times to be honest or show my weakness to my students. I know there is a time for strength and there's a time to be weak and a time to be vulnerable, but it's so hard for me to accept this spiritual weakness that I have at times that I feel like I'd be doing my students a disfavor to show them some of that. But at the same time, I recognize that if I keep on this strength facade, that I become something that isn't real. If they don't know how I truly work, if I don't show them that I can be weak, that I can be vulnerable, then it builds up this false me in their heads that shouldn't be there in the first place, and could potentially hinder future conversations as well, or maybe confessions. What did I find most compelling about what Foster describes in the inward disciplines and why? I'm assuming that question is which of the disciplines he described I'm most compelled to either improve on or work on. And I would say that'd be fasting for multiple reasons. One, I'm so bad at skipping a meal. It's food. It tastes great. We have so many good things to choose from. Like he was saying in the book, in today's day and age, if we try to fast, we have snacks in the cupboard. We have leftovers in the fridge. We have frozen dinners ready for us in the freezer. Or if all else fails, we can drive 10 minutes at most to go to a McDonald's. There's just so much close to us, and the temptation becomes so real when trying to skip a meal and focus on God and how I'm doing spiritually. And an excuse that I have always hid behind was that my metabolism's too fast. So if I skip a meal, I'm not going to be able to work the rest of the day. I'm not going to be able to do this. And that was an excuse he even had in his book. There are days where I have fasted before, and somehow through the grace of God, I was just as fine as I would have been if I would have eaten that day. And it's an excuse that I need to move on from and get past it and start fasting, because this is something that I should be doing. Maybe it's not a sin if I don't, but it's something I feel like I should be, or it's a discipline I should be pouring into because of where I plan on going in my life. And I'm going to need all of the spiritual focus and growth and connections with God that I can need. I feel like being a pastor just requires you to seek for God in any way possible. And I don't want to start that career and already be lacking or not willing to search for God in this fasting department. Anything that I found, or something that I found troubling, wasn't something that was in the book itself, but something that wasn't mentioned. And it's not that it's bad that it wasn't mentioned, but it makes me wonder why I've been hearing this so often. Back into the fasting topic, I've heard so many times from youth leaders, youth pastors, from pastors, "Oh, if you can't fast from food, just fast from something you like to do. Fast from video games. Fast from the internet. Fast from social media." But is that really still fasting? And it wasn't mentioned in the book that this was some sort of fasting. Now, they didn't have these things in that day and age. I understand. But I feel like there's a major difference between... I cannot hold this still. A major difference between giving up something that you like to do and giving up something that your body needs. to search for God, to pray more, to dedicate more time to seeking Him. And it's not, I want to say it's not just the thought that counts, but I feel like it can be important. Now, if you are giving up something that's been consuming your life, a huge habit, maybe that is just as good as giving up something you need to live, but I don't know, I just feel like there's this huge gap between giving up something you want and giving up something you need for God. I mean, maybe not, maybe I'm wrong. If you guys have some answers on that, that'd be awesome. I'd love to hear what's going on that and what your thoughts are. And that should be the end of the video. Thank you.